Hey, what's up, all you YouTube viewers? Before I begin this video, which is entitled The Imperfect Body, I want to make it very clear that I have no intention of trying to change the way you think, nor am I trying to change anybody else's beliefs. Alright, I'm very satisfied with the diversified world that we live in, that we come from all of us come from all types of different cultures, different backgrounds, different types of traditions. That's perfectly fine. And it's a wonderful thing that that's the way life should be. We should all be unique and different in our own ways. And just imagine what type of dull and boring world we would live in if we were all the same thing. But as I pointed out, I'm going to be discussing the imperfect body. And also, be quite honest with you, it's not my intention to get all religious and start quoting Bible verses in this video, because that's not the intention trying to make this video at all. Me personally, I don't like Bible quoters. I don't like Bible thumpers. I don't like people who go to specific uh, books and chapters and verses of the Bible, because with all that talk, and when it's all said and done, it really doesn't matter how much, nor does it matter how good you could quote the Bible. At the end of the day, you know how well the Bible is, how is will depend on how good of a person you are and how well you treat people in life. And it really comes down to if you're a morally and ethically good person. So ultimately, that's what it comes down to, and that's why I feel that at the end of the day, it really does not matter about one having so much Bible knowledge, because it basically, all I'm saying is it really doesn't mean anything unless you're living it. But getting right down to the imperfect body, according to the book of Genesis, there was no, and during the time of creation, there was a tree called the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And Adam and Eve were instructed that they could partake of any tree that they want, except for the knowledge of the tree of good and evil. And the day that they would partake of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, heed my words carefully. God told them, you will surely die. Now, in the King James Version, New World Translation Version, the New International Version, and in different types of versions, alright, that Bible quote might be read a little bit differently. But I feel that when God said you will surely die, it's more straightforward, it's crisp and clear, and it really sends the message and gets the message out very clear that you will surely die if you disobey me and you decide to eat off of this tree. So all I'm simply saying is that from the time that Adam and Eve ate from the knowledge of tree and good and evil, according to biblical accounts and my personal research, two things were allowed into this world. Number one, sin was allowed into this world. Evil was allowed into this world. And what's the second thing? Imperfection. Now, for all you Christians of whatever denomination you are, or even to the non-believing Christians, if all these facts were not true as the Bible claims that it is true, that our bodies are going to turn out imperfect, well then why is that sometimes when you turn on the news and you look in a newspaper you might even read a book, or you might even see it on TV or on the internet about somebody having all these different types of diseases. I'm 45 years old, and I can tell you this: in all my 45 years of living my life up until present day, I gotta tell you, I've seen some very strange things. Like, thing that was most bizarre and that really scared the heck out of me the most when I first discovered it, I believe when I was 11 or 12 years old. I found out about Siamese twins, about how they were born with, or two babies' heads were born together, sharing the same brain. So what I'm saying is that that's a part of imperfection that I'm talking about, and it's not. It wasn't. It wasn't God's will that you know human beings would be born with these disabilities, diseases, infirmities, or all these types of abnormalities. I really don't feel that it was His will that we were born, like I said, with these abnormalities, infirmities, diseases, disabilities, and the list goes on and on. And see, that's what I'm telling you. If the Bible does not make that evident, and if it's not as true as even the non-believers claim that it's not true, why is it that you see all these you see all these things in history? I mean, why do you see all these cases in history and in the past and in the present about all these abnormalities, disabilities, and diseases that people have? All right, and it's like what I'm really getting fed up with, excuse my choice of words, is the fact that, you know, most especially the non-believer of the Christian faith believes that, we are, we're born young, we're going to go to school, potentially go to college, and then go to work for about 30 or 40 years to get a pension, get a retirement, and then we're supposed to live old until we die. And it's just really a damn shame, excuse my choice of words, it's really a damn shame that that's America's mindset, believing that that's the way life is supposed to be, and that's the way life should be. But what I'm trying to indicate is the fact that that was not the intended will of God for mankind. For what it's worth, and if it makes even the non-believer feel any better, God never wanted us to grow old and have gray hair and have our hair start thinning and have wrinkles on our face, and then when they reach about the age, I don't know, probably about 50 or 60 or 70 years old, whatever age it may be, it was never God's intention that people start having rheumatoid arthritis, pain. So what I'm saying is, as we get old, it was never God's intention that He wanted us to experience pain as we got old. And the reason why I keep going back to the Adam and Eve's fall, when they disobeyed God after He told them not to eat off the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the reason why I keep mentioning that is because, like I said, from the time they disobeyed, imperfection, one, and sin, number two, was allowed into this world. And before Adam and Eve's partaking of the knowledge of the tree and good and evil, we were made perfect. And when I say perfect, we were. What I mean by that, and to give a more elaborate and accurate description of what I'm talking about, what I mean by that is that when God made us perfect, when I use the word perfect, I'm talking about He intended for us to live in a human flesh and blood body made from the soil of the earth. We were made to live in the flesh body as an infinite longevity. All right? So what I'm saying is that God intended for us before Adam and Eve's fall, we were intended to live in the flesh body for an eternity and for an infinity. All right? So we're talking, let's be very clear. We're talking about that was his intention before the fall, not after the fall. All right? And also when I use the word perfect, I'm not saying that God I'm not trying to say that God is trying to make us as equally as perfect compared to the way God Almighty himself is. I'm not talking about that. Again, when I use the word and the illustration perfect, I mean that God, when he created our bodies before Adam and Eve's fall and before they disobeyed God not to eat off the tree of good and evil, we were made perfect in a sense that we were intended to live an infinite longevity of life in the flesh body for an eternity. Had not Adam and Eve touched the knowledge of good and evil. And so it was like, and also if you go into the first 3 chapters, I don't know, maybe it's the first 4 chapters, let me add also this in. When you know how when women go through labor and they bring forth babies into the world. Yeah, well, that's what it is. They go through labor because it's belaboring is what it is. You know, if it makes women feel any better if they're watching this video, it was never God's intention that women experience pains as they're giving birth to a child on that 9th month of the year. You know, according to the book of Genesis, had Adam and Eve not disobeyed God, every time women give birth to children, having as many children as they want, what I'm saying is that it was supposed to be a pleasant experience without having all this pain. And so, also, as I close this video, I want to say that this video is a foundational component of the next video I'm going to make, which is going to be entitled Caffeine is Good for You, contrary to what researchers and other people may have told you. I might change the title, but all I'm saying is that when I make the next video, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about if you've already watched this video. But anyway, as I said, I'm just expressing my views, and I'm not trying to represent any type of denomination, any belief, or any religion, and I'm not trying to represent any type of denomination of any religion. I'm just simply stating that if what we've read in the Bible is so untrue, especially, what I'm saying is if the Bible is so untrue, especially if it's what of a lot of unbelievers claim that it's untrue, well then, why do we see in the present day, and based on historical accounts and research, why do we see a lot of people with disabilities, abnormalities, born with certain diseases, have AIDS, they have cancer, they have to take medicine for this, they have to take medicine for that. There's people, God bless their hearts, that have Down syndrome. Michael J. Fox has Parkinson's disease. Richard Pryor, before he died, had what's that called? Multiple sclerosis. So I'm just throwing out all these examples to solidify my point that if the Bible is untrue, as much as the unbeliever claims that it is, then why do we see all these imperfections, abnormalities, and diseases that are present today and the ones that we know of? Anyway, as I pointed out before, I respect everybody's belief, This video is not intended to change the way you think or change what you believe. We could all disagree, and we could all disagree and not have the same opinion, and at the same time coexist in the same world. That's perfectly fine. If you disagree, if you like to share a comment, leave one below, and I'll do the best of my knowledge to do whatever I can to respond. But thanks for watching. Have a good day.